Go live. Good old-fashioned 3-clicker. Have to click the go live button 3 times before it goes live. Usually just twice.
Yeah. I think that's good luck.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Or very bad luck. And there we have it, folks. Oh, God, where am I? Here we are. Okay. It's always a wild world.
Yeah. Continuing work on the Sisters Novitiates. Want to have this kill team done today. I think that's totally reasonable, right?
Yeah. And, well, you know what? I have enough stuff near me.
Lucky Bat. Oh, Dr. Whom 1023. Hello there. M. Hi, everyone. Sarah Rowan. Hey, peeps. Dog. Hello, Sister J. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Jays. Coming to a theater near you. What is the next step? I think it is painting the other color. And that color is going to be... Yesterday I was thinking black. But... should it be black? I think it probably should be black. I want to keep these ladies in a little bit of a grim, dark aesthetic. Because the only other color I was thinking is maybe blue. And that would look pretty cool, but I think it would look too fun and not evil. Because the Sisters of Battle are evil. So let's get a little evil with it.
Beautiful.
Michael Jorgensen just got Warhammer Plus. Excited for all the Warhammer goodness. Yeah, I absolutely loved Angels of Death. I think it's a really, really great show. I love Louise's painting masterclass. Warhammer 40k Lorehammer. What is the show called? It sucks.
Lore Masters.
Lore Masters. It sucks. I mean, I don't know. I think I've just reached the point where Warhammer lore, just listing things to me, isn't interesting. Like, I used to be able to watch lore videos, like One Mind Syndicate, Luton 09, but I don't know, just listing events. Oh, Gazgul Thraka was born in 1692, and he became the war boss of the Gabergabao tribe, and he went on to gain many teeth and eventually bought himself a spaceship, and he took to the stars. It just does nothing for me. I would much rather hear it in the context of a story, where you're hearing about the interactions between Gazgul and other characters. Like, that makes... And that's why I love Voldemort so much, is because he writes little stories set in the universe to kind of get you in the mood to hear. And then he keeps the lore short and sweet, like 5 to 10 minutes. Is him just listing the facts. The fictional facts. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah.
So how am I going to get black on these ladies?
Yeah, it's also just boring.
Yeah, it's also just really boring.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. There's many people out there that make it a little bit more exciting.
Mm-hmm. What black inks do I own? Should I paint it with black ink or should I paint it with black paint? Which makes more sense? I think I can do it with black ink. Let's give this a shot. Josh Welch, Voldemort slaps. Yeah, he does.
Better believe it.
It's a Battle Fan 763. Finally got the dog on the table. Why? Like, why would you put your dog on the table?
Perfect.
Oh, fun fact. Pro tip. You have to turn on the airbrush compressor to get air.
What? I disagree. Ooh. Listen to her purr. There's Lewin. Hey, Nick, are you also here twice? Yes.
Oh, God. I wish we had, like, a soundboard so that we could add an echo effect to you.
I mean, you could do that in OBS, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's effects in OBS. That'd be perfect.
Is it a source, you think?
I don't know how to explain it without looking at it.
Is it in Mixer Tools? Doesn't
I
look
don't
like
know.
it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do it. Remember we tried to mess around with some of the filters before,
Yeah.
like when we first started streaming.
And then we decided that fine was good enough.
Yep. Exactly.
Parker Rimundo, what is the best loadout for Kill Team? Relics, swords, guns. Voldemort is GOAT. Are you talking about best loadout for Sisters of Battle? Because every kill team, or every kill team is going to have its own kind of loadout that works best for it. For the Sisters Novitiates, I took all of the specialists except the Icon Bearer. I think it's called the Relictor, and the Hospitaller, the Medic. And I took 2 of the Flamer, the Special Weapons Sisters, because I just don't think I'm going to need the Medic. I think it's just a little bit too situational for me. In terms of any kill team, I think it's totally going to depend on what you're working with. Like, Gene Stealer Cult are going to want different things than Custodies are going to want different things than Space Marines are going to want different things than Kroot. But I mean, if you got specifics, I got specifics too. So, because I know kill team, I win all the time, never. So you can trust my opinion.
Oh yeah. Yep, you better believe it.
I have a great conceptual knowledge of kill team.
Perfect. That's all you really need.
Yeah.
That's all you need to have fun.
I'm book smart, not street smart.
That.
Perker Ramundo, yes, Novitiates. I want to play Kill Team, but I'm curious of what they do. The sisters seem to be really geared up to trade bodies for victory points, which I think is wonderful. It really kind of suggests that you do fairly suicidal things to gain points. So I would kind of expect the sisters to be a team where most of your operatives die over the course of the 4 turns of Kill Team, but you still win if you've played them well. Yeah, I like that. A little black.
Yeah.
And probably black on the feet. Man, inks run through the airbrush so well.
Nut beats. Full grot kill team. Hell yes.
I mean, Louise over on Warhammer TV.
I know, but I want it to be real.
Yeah. They didn't publish the rules, but they said what the rules were in the Kill Team game. Counselor Oak, do you think we'll get new Chaos Space Marine Possessed or Traitor Guard in upcoming Kill Team box? I think Traitor Guard are more likely than Possessed, just because Possessed is an elite unit, and Kill Team seems to be all about troops. I think Traitor Guard is not out of the realm of possibility, but we did just get Veteran Guard with the first release of Kill Team 22. So if they were to release a Chaos Guard, I feel like it would be a little bit too much overlap. But you can take 8 Traitor Guardsmen in a Compendium Chaos Space Marine army. So maybe that can scratch your Death Guard itch.
And if you play Death Guard, you got an inch.
Oh yeah.
Speaking
Oh,
of
if you play
niche,
Death Guard, then you're playing Poxwalkers. Although I think I did say Death Guard instead of Chaos. Ah, look at that.
Yep.
I wish I had a soda, and I do, but I'd have to walk upstairs, and that's a lot of work.
Well, sucks to be you.
Maybe I'll have a sody pop on the Patreon only stream happening later tonight.
Whoa, there's a Patreon only stream happening later tonight?
Yeah, it's crazy. They're super fun. It's us and the other Patreon supporters to Eons of Battle, and we all hop into a Discord server together, and we just while away the evening with whatever chit-chat we want to talk about, whether it's movies or swapping stories of past experiences. It's just a really fun time.
It is a really fun time. And it usually gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
And then usually we have to pull things back just a little bit. I also cry a lot in those streams because people are really mean to me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
You know, that comes with the territory.
It does.
And what Patreon tier do people have to subscribe to get access to that wonderful perk?
The middle tier. That's all you gotta do.
Wow.
I know.
Such amazing value.
I know. And
We have-
not only that, but you get some Patreon exclusive episodes of some shows. And actually tomorrow, could you believe that tomorrow we're coming out with some little, I guess, reviews of some of the Warhammer Plus stuff?
Damn.
It's a little more than a review. It's almost like we play the full episode and you get to watch along with us. A lot of fun.
I see 62 concurrent viewers. I expect 62 new subscribers to the Eons Battle Patreon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Suspect Zero, I love your flag idea for Kill Team J. Your flag
Yeah.
is a cute flag.
Well, because I think security is going to be my my stratagem of choice, or my secondaries of choice. I think they're really fun.
Big J, have you built a Chaos Space Marine army yet? If you have, what legion did you choose? If not, what legion would you choose?
I am building a Death Guard army. I'm currently 10 Poxwalkers and 10 Death Guard in. I do have a Chaos, what's it called? A Chaos Champion?
Knight.
A Chaos Knight? A Chaos Herald?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's it called? Like the big bad chaos guy. A Chaos Space Marine on steroids. A Chaos
Terminator?
No. A Demon Prince. I have a Neural
Yep.
Demon Prince. I have a Plague Hauler. And that's kind of it. If I was to, I actually have painted up a kill team of Chaos Space Marine Night Lords, but unfortunately I painted them up. I started to paint them up for Kill Team 2018, and so I would have to do a little bit of work to get them ready for Kill Team 2022 or 2021. But I could totally do it. I would just need to find some heads because I used some head swaps, and so I'd have to find more of those because I'd be bringing more models than I had previously planned on. Goatswit, is there such thing as too many warriors or scarab swarms? I don't think so. I own 60 warriors, and I know I own 18 scarab swarms. And I actually used to own a lot more than that, but I didn't want to own that many anymore because it was just taking up too much room in the drawer. So instead of having like 50 scarab swarms, because I really kind of cheaped out, and sometimes I would put only 2 scarab swarms on a base, but I decided that didn't really look great, and I didn't care. So I decided to take tons of scarab swarms and pile them onto bases. I have a video on this that I forget the name of, where I really pile all my scarab swarms onto bases, and I made 18, I think. It was 12.
Amazing.
The Rybot, have you guys played any Thousand Suns and Kill Team? Were they fun to play against? I know Nick has some experience with Thousand Suns.
Uh-huh. I think Sean and I both played some Thousand Suns. I had to proxy them because I used my my Orc Commandos as Thousand Suns. And yeah, they were fun. Who did I play against? Did I play against
me.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I won, right?
I think so.
Let's just say
remember.
yes. And that feels about right. I know Sean did. Sean played them. Yeah, they're fun. Isn't there a White Dwarf team where you can take 3 sorcerers or something?
God, what's it
that
called?
Seems pretty interesting.
It's called Warp
Cheating.
Coven. Yeah, it's called cheating. That's what it's called. Yeah, if you want to play Thousand Suns, I'd suggest looking into the White Dwarf. Just look up Thousand Suns White Dwarf, and it'll tell you which one to purchase legally, or just, type in White Dwarf, 477, go, PDF go. Either way. Although I did actually buy my first White Dwarf. I bought White Dwarf for something. Because it had the rules for Wormblade, which is the new rules for Genestealer Cult and Kill Team. And they seem really, really cool. They have a lot of new rules and new abilities. Although what's interesting is it completely limits it to neophytes. Before you could take neophytes and acolytes or metamorphs. And now it's just neophytes. But I think the rules are still tempting enough that you would do it. EonsOfBattle Fan 763. I'm going to go to the Warhammer store down the road and buy 5 boxes of grots to have a full grot army. Sweet.
Yeah, you'll win.
Sean, oh my gosh, has Jay ever won? I don't remember.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think you've won this whole year.
Definitely not
You've
this year. I've won before, yeah.
But not this year. I feel
mean,
like we just have to keep. We have to keep playing. We should have a marathon. We
Yes.
just take one day and we just keep playing games until you win.
I mean, that sounds awesome, but we're way too busy to do that.
Yep.
Rose Bipsje. Hi, guys.
Righteous Games purchasing things legally. That's lame.
It is lame.
I don't know why you do that.
"1313s, I had a sub to White Dwarf back and forth." Yeah, White Dwarf has actually existed for as long as 40k has existed. Like, there was White Dwarf in Rogue Trader. I think, because like back in the day, magazines were kind of the thing. I think they can cut it out now. I think magazines have fallen from grace. An app would be lovely. I think that's a little bit more in keeping with the times, but Games Workshop clearly disagrees. So,
I can't wait until apps are lame.
I love that until 2018, you could buy White Dwarfs digitally, which makes so much sense. And then in 2018, they discontinued the digital White Dwarfs. So you have to buy a physical magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Felix the Crazy! Every game you play feeling crude is a victory before the game even starts. Hey, buddy, how's it going? I super duper love all of your STLs, and I super enjoyed using your Crute heads. The ones with goggles and masks. Super, super cool. I have them on all of my Crute models.
And And those crew always win if Jay doesn't play them.
Literally, they've
So-
never won once. Actually, no, they have won once when Sean fielded them.
And Lucky Bet.
And Lucky Bat won with the crew too. You know what? Only I could lose with the crew. That's really what we've learned.
I need to play them so that I
Yeah.
It's very funny.
1313s. I had a subscription to Playboy at about the same time.
Oh boy.
Jonathan Baker, White Dwarf used to be really good back in the day. They actually showcased real hobbying rather than just advertising the latest models. You know, I flipped through it. I'm gonna do a deep a thorough reading this weekend, but it actually does seem to have an okay amount of hobby in there. It has kind of more than I was expecting. It's a bigger, fatter magazine than I was expecting. Michael Jorgensen for the chat. The rules for Thousand Suns Warp Coven are in White Dwarf 469. Oh my gosh, the magic number.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody wants to play Thousand Suns, type into Google White Dwarf 469 PDF free download. Don't do that. We didn't tell you to do that. We definitely didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah. Free, no viruses, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, what is it? Wapedia? What is it? Wagapedia?
Yeah, Warhammerpedia.
On there. Has it on there?
Yeah, Battlescribe, I'm sure has it too.
Felix the Crazy. Love seeing your work. Nice to see people paint my stuff 100% better than I can.
Nice. Paul Styron, in the future, Warhammer will just be an augmented reality app, and all the minis will just be virtually displayable on your tablet with NFTs you have to buy. Probably.
I mean, that sounds awesome.
Guess what? $6 Primaris Lieutenant NFT! Yeah, you gotta get that non-fungible Lieutenant.
Mm-hmm. They come out with different ones all the time, like they already do.
The Rybot. So are those rules for Thousand Suns alternatives to the standard fire teams? Yeah, they both exist. So you can take fire teams from the compendium, and you can take models off of a list in the White Dwarf Thousand Suns rules. So you got two ways to play.
Mm-hmm.
Shane Somerville. Hey boys, I have a massive winter to paint, like a winter scene to paint. How do I make deep snow bases not boring as hell? I actually have a video on this called I'm Actually Good at Basing.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Yeah, where I actually paint 4 really realistic tundra snowy bases. So that'd probably be a good one to watch. It can be difficult. I would definitely not suggest just covering a 25mm base in snow, because yeah, it's gonna look kind of boring. You gotta throw a little something extra in there. Jake Dog, what shampoo do you use, Jay? Dollar store shampoo that smells like coconut.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't want to watch it. Midwinter Minis is wrong. Don't cut towards yourself. No, he's right. I think everybody but he's not right that every single person should cut towards themselves. Everybody should cut their miniatures out in a way that is most comfortable and safe for them. Like, I tend to cut away from myself most of the time, but that's not because I'm worried about accidentally stabbing my finger. It's just that's how I'm best able to get good leverage. The way I cut, I can demonstrate on camera, is I hold the blade in my left hand, and then I hold the model in my right, and then I use my right thumb to push. And so that way I have an incredible amount of control, and so I am kind of pushing away from myself, but it's not because I'm worried about slipping and cutting, it's just that's how I find it most comfortable. If you ever find yourself applying pressure, like a lot of pressure, you're probably doing it wrong or in need of changing the blade. You should change your X-Acto knife blade a lot. Probably at least once per box of minis. At least. Because it dulls so slowly that you're not going to feel it getting duller. But once you put in a fresh blade, you'll totally feel the difference.
And I do the same thing, but I'm right-handed, like everyone is. And, yeah, but I do the exact same thing. So it's just a comfortable way that I do it. Slipknot Dude had 88. I change positions depending on what and where on the mini the cut needs to be. I'm a lefty. Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how you should do it.
Well, you shouldn't be a lefty, but yeah, everything else.
Yeah, don't be a lefty. Pro tip. Don't be a lefty.
The world is not made for you.
No.
Hashtag siphon feed. Airbrush.
I'm trying to buy a siphon feed airbrush, but they're all set up righty.
They're great though. I love it.
Yeah, no, they're awesome.
My favorite airbrush.
I mean, literally, I think I could put latex house paint through it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great with priming, great with base coats.
It's pretty good for a Zenithal.
Mm-hmm. You can get some paint in there.
Cthulhu73, do you use many mediums? Most say just use water to thin. I watched Don Sarados, and he's all about tons of different paints, mediums, retarders, thinners, glazes. Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't be afraid of mediums. I have Liquitex Gloss Medium. That is my favorite gloss medium, although I don't find myself using it that much. I use matte medium all the time to thin down paints. And a new tool that I've just discovered that I'm absolutely in love with, Ninjon, another YouTuber recommended this to me, not personally, in the video to everyone. Joe Sanja's Magic Mix. This stuff is magic. It's really nice. It takes your paint and makes it behave beautifully, slowing the drying time just a tiny little bit, and without thinning the paint much. So yeah, I mean, if anybody is looking to step up their painting game and trying new things like wet blending or stippling or glazing, I would definitely pick up some Chroma's Joe Sonja. And I don't think this was too expensive. I think it was like $10. And this much will last you a long time. Like years. Nutbeats, Jay, what's your favorite Beatles songs? Oh god, I love the Beatles so much. I love Hey Jude, Paperback Writer.
Ooh.
Is that an Amber Alert?
No.
I know, that's the weather warning.
The weather warning. The world's ending.
Okay, thank you, phone. Alright. I'm in a basement. No matter what it is, I'll live. Unless it's a volcano.
Yeah, there's a volcano.
Okay, good. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Beatles songs. I love the Beatles so much. I mean, I even like Yellow Submarine and some of the not that great songs.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Beatles so much.
I like number 9.
I haven't listened to number 9 in the right context yet.
I have, and it's wild. Goodness gracious. Yeah, there's apparently a lot of snow, and you're supposed to slow down or delay travel. And there's also a sudden drop to near zero visibility and icy roads and heavy snow.
Interesting.
You know, it's hilarious. It always snows like really insane on days where or at least times where we're not filming.
Yeah.
That's how it always is. There was like one time this year it was kind of snowing a little bit, but you know, it's never horrible.
Eleanor Rigby is so good. Yesterday, holy cow! Yesterday might be my favorite. Yesterday is an amazing song. If anybody is a big Beatles fan, I highly recommend the movie Yesterday. It's adorable, and it's a really, really fun watch if you're a Beatles fan. If you're not a Beatles fan, I don't know if you'll get much out of it, because it's kind of made for Beatles fans.
Ryan Yee, Games Workshop paging. That's what that was.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah, they got mad at me saying that it's possible to obtain white dwarves other ways than going to a Warhammer store and purchasing them, or buying a subscription.
Flipnet dude at 88. Is Jay in Ukraine? That's also true.
God.
Oh boy.
All right, so now we're demonetized, so we can do whatever we want.
Yeah. Michael Jorgensen sounded like a show alert to me.
Sean, where can I get Magic Mix? I bought it on Amazon. I want to watch it. Have you tried using real snow for a more realistic snow base? I have, but it only works for a few minutes. Ian's a Battle Fan 763, painting Stormhawk Interceptors as Ultramarines. Any tips? What's a Stormhawk Inceptor? I know what an Inceptor is. I'm going to assume you're painting Inceptors in a Stormhawk color scheme, which I don't recognize that chapter, but I'm sure it is one. Because any 2 adjectives are a Space Marine chapter. I don't know. Airbrush would help. Maybe dry brushing. And paint it orange. Sean. So Jay, as a Beatles fan, what is your thoughts on Yoko Ono? I don't mind Yoko Ono. I think her music is awful, but I don't think she broke up the Beatles. I think they just like moved on to other things. The Beatles were only really the Beatles for like 8 years.
I think she broke up the Beatles. That's a great question though.
It is. Flipping that dude at 88. I liked your reference to synchro summoning in Yu-Gi-Oh! When comparing it to Warhammer rules. Another man of culture. I only want to watch it. Would varnishing the snow bases help? Yeah, I think if you use real snow, if you threw a varnish on real quick, I think they would never melt.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe you play in a freezer.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a good move. That would totally do the trick. Jake Dog, what Pokemon is your favorite? I'm going to say Agumon.
That's a close second for me. I'm cutting towards myself.
You're gonna die.
Polystyrene. The Beatles are cool and all, but what are your thoughts on the real 60s sensation, the Monkees?
Oh God, what did the Monkees do? I know the Monkees, but I can't think of any songs.
I would skip the songs too. Ian's a battle fan. 763. Charizard. Agreed. I had a level 100 Charizard.
I know which one that is. That's the fire one.
Nailed it.
See? I know Pokemon. I think one of my favorite classes I ever took in college was a class I did no studying and no work for, but I should have, because it was a music, like a contemporary, or no, it was like an American music class. And this was when I was at my absolute busiest taking architecture classes. I had a 20 credit class load, and I was gonna die the entire time. And so literally I would basically nap in his class. But he was so cool, and the information he was giving us was so cool, where he would just talk us through the history of American music, and I would do the absolute minimum amount of work to pass the class. But honestly, if I could go today, because it was an early morning class, if I could go today, like, every Wednesday and Thursday or something to his class and just hear him lecture, I would, because it was so much fun.
Maybe you can catch it on Zoom.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the funny thing about looking back.
Yeah.
Because like if I had time, there's so many things I'd pay attention to. Also, there's so many things I would not pay attention to that I accidentally did. What a world. Man, I feel like the theater history classes that we took were some of the most useless.
Yeah, they were complete garbage.
Out and About was probably the worst. Just nothing. Oot and a boot, if you will.
I got to hear in his class, this was the coolest thing. He knew Manty Ellis, which is like a really famous jazz musician from Milwaukee. I got to hear him play and talk. Like, it was completely wild. I remember in my architecture classes, there was another person who was like super into jazz, and they thought it was super cool that I got to hear them perform. Like, it was a really cool class. But yeah, I just had no time to take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But I super appreciate it. And like, I told the teacher that I like absolutely loved him. It's just I just did not have the ability to take it as seriously as I maybe could have, because literally architecture was kicking my butt every second of every day.
Yeah. Sean, J burps. I sip my beer.
Did I burp? Nice.
I don't even realize when you burp anymore.
I don't realize. I feel like it's been a while since I realized when I burp.
Yeah, couple years ago.
Yeah.
Now, Sir Average Joe, I'm painting some Alpha Legion right now, and the base is a metallic blue. What is a good way to add some green shading?
Do you have an airbrush? Because I would say a great way would be to take some green ink and then ever so lightly airbrush layers onto the base. If you don't have an airbrush, you can do a similar thing with a brush, but you're probably going to want to mix the ink with a lot of matte medium to get it transparent. Jonathan Baker, jazz is so good. For something contemporary, try Nate Smith's Kinfolk 2. Can't stop playing that this week. Manty Ellis is alive. He's contemporary, sort of. Sean, read further up, Nick.
No.
I think you read your comment.
No, I didn't. Sean, oh, what a world. Drink a beer. Thanks, Nick. That is one of my catchphrases.
Ah.
See, I do that and don't even realize it. It's baked in. That and you heard it here, folks. That's another good one.
Rosa Bipsje, what brand of airbrushes are beginner-friendly / idiot-proof and don't break the bank? Miniac talks about Iwata is the brand. What are the others? Honestly, I don't think there's any airbrushes that are idiot-proof. They're all a little tricky and will probably give you some trouble from time to time. I think the best course of action might be just to buy like a $20 eBay China airbrush and like learn on that, use it for a couple of months and then break it. I think that might be the best way. Because like you could definitely go with like a Badger Patriot 105, which is a great airbrush for around $70 or $80. You could get airbrushes that are quite a bit better than that. Iwata makes a lot of nice expensive airbrushes, but you kind of just have to learn how to use them and learn how to feel them. Because like I've been using my airbrushes for years and years, and so I can like hear when they're doing something weird or different. And that's just something you have to develop over the course of time working with them. Sternmerk, wait, you guys are from Milwaukee, the land of Rich Evans? I love Rich Evans. That's one of the members of Red Letter Media. Mm-hmm. A famous Milwaukee group.
Mm-hmm. Sean. Jay and Nick, I have created my own personal drinking game based on sayings in stream. Helps me maintain a good buzz when painting. Otherwise, I forget to drink or puff.
You know what? Sounds about right.
What a world. Jake Dog, Milwaukee, like the power tools? You got
it.
Exactly.
Although I think the Milwaukee power tools are made in China now.
You better believe they are.
I have them. They're nice. But yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want it made in Milwaukee. Everybody in Milwaukee's lazy.
Damn. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Not wrong.
I don't know. We lived in Milwaukee. We know what's up.
Oh, I love that.
You think that the drill I have would be better quality if it was made by Milwaukee hands?
Maybe in the 50s. Those
oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, if it was made in the 50s, it'd still be operating perfectly.
Yeah.
I have a Milwaukee drill, and it is adequate.
Me too. Sean, don't kill me, Nick. My liver's at your mercy.
All right, there we go. Did I forget anything on any models? like I remembered to spray all the right things.
Flip that dude at 88. Sean, do you go to meetings? Maybe. You might have to after all this.
Sean, Nick, with great power comes great responsibility. Ooh, Pinback Rider is a great Beatles song. Hey, sir or madam, would you read my book? It took me years to write. Would you take a look? I like the Beatles. They got some good stuff. Alright, so I want to paint some things on these models gold. So I'm going to try mixing a little bit of burnt umber and... Do you think I should mix burnt umber with orange or burnt umber with yellow to create a golden hue?
I mean, you said the magical word, orange. But you probably should do yellow. You know, now that I'm looking at it, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's try some things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, definitely brown. Drip, drip, drip. And maybe a little yellow and a little orange.
Yeah, let's see what that looks like. Today's a learning stream.
It is. I mean, gosh, everything on these scissors is like a first try. Maybe one drop of orange. I don't want it to overpower.
Michael Jorgensen, orange. Always orange. Jonathan Baker. The Beatles Rock Band was my favorite Xbox 360 game. I got to pretend to be Paul McCartney.
You know what? I feel like that's not a bad gold. 3 drops of brown, 2 drops of yellow, 1 drop of orange. I just sprayed it on the flamer.
You got a recipe.
Oops.
Flipping it to the beats. Finally some orange. You spray a little too much?
Yeah, just a little.
Just hit the undo button.
Mm-hmm. It's that easy.
Did your airbrush not come with an undo button?
You know, I didn't get the deluxe. I just got the base, so I didn't come with an undo.
Well. Yep. That's the problem that people have is they don't spring for that undo. So it's a lifesaver. I mean, it is an extra $100,000, but couldn't do it without it.
Michael Jorgensen, you inspired me to make my own successor chapter, The Tiger Kings, And their chapter master is Joseph Exotic. Interesting. That sounds very unique and original. Like, if that was like a documentary, I think I would be in. Primo Zemo, Nick, what is the longest time it has taken you to print something? For me, it's 48 hours.
I've had a couple. I've had a couple, maybe 24 hours, 36 hours. I don't like letting them go very long if I can help it. I always get afraid that it's gonna fail. I also get afraid that I'm gonna run out of filament. It's always my worry. Dude at 88. I don't have a printer, so I'm still waiting. I remember in architecture school, they were doing some sort of giant project, and they were going to do like a 72-hour CNC operation. And that would be insane. Although the CNC is a little bit... I can imagine that going a lot better than a 72-hour printing job. Because there was also pauses in between, because they started with a bigger bit, and then they worked down to a smaller one to do the details.
Yeah, I feel like the CNC is a lot easier to start and stop. I mean, you can start and stop. Yeah.
Although there was one time when I was using the Anycubic Viper, and I had it just going overnight, and I didn't realize that I didn't have enough filament in there, and it actually sensed that there wasn't enough filament, and it stopped.
Wow.
And then I put more filament in, and then it continued, and it was perfect. It kind of left a little gooey spot where where the nozzle was, though. It's not perfect. It's not. I wouldn't love it. I wouldn't want to do that every day, but it's finished printing, and it was good enough for what I needed it to do. Perfectly sandable. And that was pretty good.
Man, inks are pretty magical through the airbrush. They really just do the job.
They do Mountain Dew?
Mm-hmm.
Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, alcohol, yes?
Yeah, of course. Oop, okay, her waist is gold.
We'll never have a sober stream again once those come out. We'll be like Sean, just drinking it up.
Sam Hardy. So wait, the gold isn't gold. It's the silver. Yeah, I'm spraying kind of a yellowy color on top of silver, and it's giving me a nice gold color. So really, I'm cheating. Is a good way to look at it.
Hashtag hobby cheating.
Mm-hmm. Hey, isn't that Vinci V's show?
Yes. Why are you stealing from Vinci V? Jeez.
There we go. Thing has been properly golded.
Sean, been trying to make some 10mm Space Marines. It's not as easy as one would think. Sean, Nick, can you make me 10mm space soldiers from the future? No.
All right, well, that's the gold, the purple, the black, the silver. I think next up is painting their little cloth hood things that I forget the name of. Painting that like an off-white, and then it might be time for airbrush and then some more inks. Some more white inks to make some highlights, and then a wash of oil. Ooh, and I want to paint the Sister Superior red so that she stands out. But unfortunately, I think a lot of people are going to miss out on seeing me doing those steps because they're not a part of the Patreon, and so they're not going to get to enjoy the next 2 hours of Patreon-only stream.
Wow. You know, that's pretty sad. And if I was one of those people, I'd feel a little silly and embarrassed right now.
Yeah. You know, and if you think about it, it's a tiny amount of money to get 4 live hobby hangouts a month.
And besides that, you get 4 episodes of Eons of Battle where we're usually shitting on Warhammer Plus, or your models that you can submit to us for us to shit on. Isn't that fun?
That is true.
Usually we're nice about the models, except for some people.
Mm-hmm.
But except for the people that we know that can take it.
Yeah. Primo Zemo, damn it, how much is it?
$5.
$5 dues gets you all of this wonderful content.
Exactly.
Monitor, it's getting fucking exclusive in here.
Woo! You better believe it.
Cthulhu 73. Wow. Someone watching this that can't throw you $5 to $8 a month? Meh.
But anyways, folks, it is 10 o'clock. We already had 3 videos out this week. We have 1 more video coming out. We got some Patreon stuff cooking. But as you know, we're going to be switching over to a Patreon-only stream. You got to give us just a little bit of time to take a piss. And we'll start that up. But we'll be back with another live stream tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central. So join us for that.
All right, everybody except the patrons, good night.